I am uncertain how long this video is going to take, but I wanted to start from the very beginning, and that is why we're looking at my Battle Royale stats, which is not something I really ever talk about, but a lot of you know me from Save the World, which is fair. That's where like 40,000 of you came from, but I actually started with Minecraft. No, I mean, it sounds like I'm joking. I definitely did, but Battle Royale is really what introduced me to Fortnite, which is not a shocker. And I used to be not terrible at the game. The win percent has gone down a little bit. The KD definitely went down. I stopped taking it as seriously, but I don't know. We used to play a lot of Battle Royale, and that's basically it. I don't really know what else to show here. I mean, I could go down to, like, chapter... Oh, did they even show the old chapter? I don't even know how to look there. It doesn't matter. My point is, this has 250 views. Why? Anyway, all right. So that's the Battle Royale stats. 600 wins, nearly a 4 KD. That used to be a little bit better, but we used to play a lot more Battle Royale, and that's also why I'm switching to Battle Royale. Here is, people requested if I ever do an account overview to do, like, a locker showcase, which... some people might not care about. I don't know if I'm going to be time-stamping this video. You can check the description, but let's get through it. I'm not going to focus on anything. You guys can just look for yourselves. I will note certain things like the old Reaper skin. I started in Season 2 at the very end of it, and I was not sold on this game. Like, my mentality was, I am not spending money on this game. And to this day, I have a little bit of the same mentality. But because I do this, do these videos for a living and I stream full time, it's a little bit more of like a business expense than anything else, which isn't exactly how I see it, but it makes the streams a lot more interesting for me to have more cosmetics. I enjoy having them, and a lot of you guys are so generous enough to even gift me some of these things. So this is how the locker has played out. And I'm also only here in BR because there are things in BR that I can show that I can't show in Save the World, like the glider and the trails and whatnot. And that actually leads me to another thing. Like I said, I wasn't going to focus on too many, but there are certain stories, for example, like Carbide being all the way maxed out. That was not the focus, was it? It was the other guy that you had to max out. Yeah, Season 4 was a long time ago. Omega. Oh, boy. Oh, I remember grinding this guy. That took a lot of effort. I don't even remember what I got. I think it was the lights that you could change. That was many, many, many hours. We were playing with Eris at the time. He'll definitely remember this story where he was a guy we were playing with a lot. He's still around in the community today. Is this bugged or something? Or disabled? I'm not sure. But it was a grind where he had to play. We averaged about 8 to 12 hours a day if he had any chance of maxing out Omega by the end of Season 4. And by golly, he did it with time to spare. It was a hell of a time. But yeah, the emotes are probably going to be the longest one. Let's just grow something while we look through these. I'm sorry if anybody's seriously looking for anything and is going to have to pause a lot, but this video would be way too long if I focused on any of this and talked for too long. But I do record in 60 FPS, so there should have been ample opportunity. You can always use your period and comma signs on your keyboard to go frame by frame. If I scroll too fast, these are all the weapon wraps. I am a huge fan of weapon wraps. I don't have them all by any stretch of the imagination, but I try to grab whichever ones I find interesting, and they are very easy to gift, so plenty of people send me those. And then I guess the loading screens are interesting to people. There are a lot of stories here. I don't have them all because I don't know them all, but there are definitely lots of challenges that unlock specific ones that you can't always go back and get. All right, that should do it. I'm not going to show banners. I don't care about that. Frost Knight's the only thing that I ever really care about banner-wise, but Save the World. So I'm uncertain whether or not I want to show my storm shields, but the only reason I don't want to is loading in is going to take a little while, and I'd have to chat through the entire thing, but I'd like to start with my locker anyway, and if I'm feeling like it, then we'll look at my Storm Shield defenses. If you're most interested in any of them, whether I show it or not, I'm going to link my video down below on how we beat Twine Endurance, because that shows my entire Twine, and that was completely untouched afterwards. We might have done a little bit just screwing around, but no serious changes were made to that base. Once I beat Endurance, I just swore off and was like, that's it. I'm done now. So we can start with Stonewood and go up if I'm feeling like it, but I guess let's just start with schematics. I mean, straight from the very top, because I am a weapons YouTuber. And the only thing I want to talk about here is I'm a weapons YouTuber. I make videos on this stuff. So I have a lot of things leveled up that nobody should ever max out. Like the Cloudburst, for example, or the Coco 45, or the Crescendo. You might disagree with me on some of those. I'm not open for a debate. I'm just talking about how I have many, many things leveled up for the purpose of creating videos. A lot of people offer me weapons, which is fantastic. I seriously appreciate it. But it is a personal preference to have at least one of every copy. That is why you're going to see a lot of repeats. I like to collect the 6 perks. I like to have lots of extra copies. If you ever see something favorited that looks a little weird, that's probably because it has a desirable 6 perk, or I'm interested in checking it out down the line. There are weapons like this where I keep these Founders weapons. You can't really get these anymore, but you know, some of these, like the Founders Vendetta, I could easily recycle this, but you can't get that Founders tag anymore. And the Founders weapons used to have 6 perks, which were only available on legendary ones, but they don't seem to now. I'm not certain what actually happened there. There was a brief transitional period where they were able to have the double elements, but ooh, crit hits cause an explosion. Yes, sir. That's definitely what we're looking for. And that is why I keep some of these weapons. There you go. So if I have multiple copies of anything, it's because it's a desirable weapon, and I want the multiple 6 perks. And that also brings me up to the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and that is multiple copies. I like to have, I'm going to be a little in the way here, but you can mostly just see the element is really what I'm focusing on here. The element is multi-elements. That's it. I have multiple pepper sprayers, thrashers, kind of started on the Trinity, but I didn't really go all in on that. Tiger Jaw, I have multiple elements for the Killjoy. The Grunt was just multiple 6 perks because those spy weapons are very interesting. Floor Flusher, of course. The Art Deco weapons are very elemental, so you can't see it because of the camera here, but let me just move me out of the way. You can see the Floor Flusher does extra damage against nature, water, fire, and all of the different elements to match are important for that weapon set. So same thing with the Big Shot and the Sod Buster, which is right here. So I like to have multiple copies of all of the things that are interesting to me, and there are weapons like the Silent Spectre where I was going to do all of the elements for Silence for the Affliction and Slowed and Snared. I did not complete that journey yet, but I mean, I have a lot of perk up to spend on this stuff, so yeah, that's kind of why I have multiple copies of all those different things. And then for traps, I mean, what else do you want me to show you? All of this is sort of just available on FortniteDB. You could scroll through my account if you're really interested. One copy of each trap is fairly nice. I did get a second Sealing Electric Field for nature, because it turns out by having nature against water, that 25% extra damage that nature would get over energy is still better than a max supercharged. So this supercharged 144 energy Sealing Electric Field would do less damage against a water enemy than this nature one would at 130. So something to think about. And when I get 5 more superchargers, I might put them towards the Sealing Electric Field. As you can see, I started on the gas trap. That is probably where I'll continue, but the Sealing Electric Field is certainly en route. Backpack, I've always got just a miscellaneous crap ton of weapons, just again for videos, and I like to switch it up a lot in the streams, makes things interesting. All of these extra ones are just from missions. I usually recycle these, and I like to keep roughly a stack of whatever trap I'm using. And then, of course, the materials to craft them. I only keep about a stack of Sunbeam or Bright on me at any given time. I don't see a reason to carry more than that. The rest of that just goes into storage. And this is where a lot of these things are gifted. I've got lots of miscellaneous modded weapons. I know that some of you will care about this stuff. I certainly do not. The one thing that I do care about is the double mag size Jack's Revenge. With Lightshow Spitfire in the lead, that thing can have 3 bullets in the magazine, and it is a Jack's Revenge. If you don't know why that's insane, then well, the weapon can only have 1 shot. And the only reason I care about this is because they reset the schematics like after a week. So you had about a week's window to do that. Very few people did, and I doubt I am, but I might very well be the only person in the world who actually has this weapon. So yeah, I'm not interested in trading. I don't care. Sorry, I get annoyed about this weapon a lot. I'm actually hesitant to even bring it up in this video, but I I don't care about traders. You guys can just go play the game yourself. You don't need my pointless weapon. It's just cool because it's not just some random weapon. We saw that perk. We saw, wait, this can have a mag size, and I made a whole video on it. We got all excited. It was, yeah, Night Shadow and Choo Choo Cthulhu. They were all together with me on that, but it was fun. It was fun. So that's the storage. Collection book, level 543 as of today. So it's, 803 days logged in. I don't know what else there is to show here. I just level up heroes as I go. That's how you get the collection book level really high. I have completed all of the traps, which is kind of cool, as of fairly recently. So trap manuals or trap designs are going to be backing up, which is kind of fun. And yeah, that's basically it. Every Well, not every, but I mean, I've been leveling up miscellaneous heroes just here and there, trying to get this collection book level higher and higher. And as you can see, I've already got, this was 100 flux following 43, like 543 was 50 flux. So that was 150 flux in like the last 2 levels. So it's just going to get better and better. And the collection book is actually worth leveling up in the end game. So definitely worth it. I guess just for completion's sake, it's worth scrolling through and showing. I'm just going to do this quickly just for the video, just to show what all is filled in. So if anybody wants to go into the past and see what I had unlocked, then fantastic. This is one of the accounts in Save the World, mine being the account that has every single hero in the game. Any hero that's not in the collection book here is probably in my inventory. Like Infiltrator Ken is in my inventory. I don't count blue ones, is not what I'm talking about. But every hero that's grayed out and legendary is in my inventory. I'm not aware of any hero in the entire game that I am missing. So I've had it. I've had a huge difficulty spending my hero voucher because I don't know where to put it. I think the sound weapons and the black metal weapons are 2 of my only completed event sections, which is kind of cool. It's a little weird to think now that they've added some of these blue weapons that didn't exist the first time. I actually haven't slotted some of these weapons, and there are weapons like the bowler, which only came out this year, and I never had a copy beyond the first one that came out, which is kind of the normal for everybody. And some of these winter llamas and the shop items will definitely fill out the rest of this section in this season. And of course, I can't get a second jack-o'-lantern because I did not play this game when the first one was available. Or if I did play the game, I think I was too late to get the jack-o'-lantern. I don't know what the deal was. I don't know, but that's all of the event weapons for those curious. I did sort of pass over the default, but these are essentially full. I mean, there are just no missing ones here other than that one vacuum, or the one thumper. So these are all just completely done. There's nothing else to talk about there. As for expansion weapons, Storm King weapons are long done. Vacuum tube weapons are very done. All of the military llamas, again, you have to research the hacksaw. That's like the only way to do it for these weapons. Military llamas are V-Bucks, and I'm not looking to spend that for this. So I guess it never occurred to me until now, but if I wanted to fill out the section, I would have to research the hacksaw like normal. But yeah, I'm weird about researching a weapon for the collection book until it's like the very last thing. Like when I've powered up every other weapon in the collection book, and there is absolutely no way to level up my collection book any further, then yeah, I'll buy weapons that are missing, but that's sort of a last resort. So there you go. Promotional people you might care about. I don't know. These 2, again, are clearly, as you can see in my inventory. All right, resources. These are all temporary, but this is what's going on today. Like Drops Rain, for example. I just spent 3,000 on the collection book. This goes up and down by thousands regularly, so these are numbers that are very temporary and will probably be outdated the minute I start playing again, but shit, if you're curious, as of today, there you go. Heroes! Oh, shoot. Okay. This is just an extension of what I just showed in the collection book. Here are the ones that are 130, significantly more than I actually thought that I had. Is that like 200? Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, it's essentially every hero in the game. With probably some missing, but if they're missing, I just don't care, or, well, didn't care to spend enough to get a voucher. Didn't care enough to spend a voucher. Here are my defenders. These are the 3 that are important. This guy, and this girl. These are the 3 that are good enough perks for me to use on a regular basis. I do not use these other ones. In fact, I actually believe I leveled up 2 of these just for the defender video. That was it. Expeditions, I don't run them. I should. They are good. Mini expedition guide here. These red box ones are worth running. And these trap ones are worth running because you can recycle the traps for 100% return and get a lot of materials to craft more traps that are actually good, because I'm assuming your traps will be stronger than the ones they give you. And then my survivor squads are heavily documented in my survivor squad guide videos, both old and new. I'll link the new one. It is significantly better than the old one, and the new one will also tell you to go check out the old one. But for the Survivor Collection, we have a lot of trap durability survivors just set aside in case I ever want to max it out for something. Maybe I start caring about endurance or some event comes along. I don't know. Oh, my mom just threw a bunch of pills at me. Melatonin just to get to bed. Nothing freaky. All right, go to Collection Book. I actually did forget to mention in the unique leads, that is almost full. Oof, we're getting there. I'm going to have to pretend to whisper to somebody else because I don't appreciate it when people do that. Even though he's just saying hi. Hello. It's a thing. Quest log, is that something people care about? I have no idea. I'm gonna ignore this. I don't care about this. Oh, this is funny. 40 play with others missions, and that is almost entirely because of stream chat using the 10,000 points to get me to join a public game. I do not play with others randomly like that. It is not something I'm interested in. If you ever see me in a public game, please say hello, because you'll likely never see it again. I play with people on stream quite regularly, but this is not something that I am pushing for at all. Same with survivors. Yeah, I mostly just ignore survivors, and I think that just about wraps up everything. Was it really that easy? My goodness, I thought there was more to show. All right, you know what? Since we're chatting, let's head over to the Stonewood. So Stonewood was interesting because this endurance, I believe we beat it on the very first try, and this seems to be a consistent story with many other people. It doesn't seem like Stonewood is all too tricky. What's a good hero to run around with? Stoneheart Farah? Sure, why not? She's a ninja, I can jump around. Oh, I actually have a flash AC loadout? Oh, perfect. This will get me zipping around like crazy. All right. Come on, game. This is what I was concerned about. Storm shields are kind of a pain to load in and out of. I don't know why. I think it needs to like set up a whole server for you to connect in on solo, but it also needs to be capable of inviting other people in, so I don't know. As I'm recording this, I am actually waiting for a BR update, and I'm not certain about it. Yeah, it is currently 7 p.m., so it'll probably be at 8. It's not that big of a deal. But with Stonewood, it got defeated on the very first try. And I feel weird because I feel like this is its own video showing my Storm Shield defenses, but I guess Stonewood is, you know, where it all started, and it is sort of within the scope of the video as far as an account overview goes. I mean, hell, I showed my BR stats, for goodness sake, so if we're going to be complete and starting from the beginning, we might as well show it. I don't trust that loading bar. I feel like it's actually much further along than it is, and it's just going to teleport me in at any point. I didn't want to have to edit this video, which is why... I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just, if you guys have never created content before, if you never created content before, you'll know that, you might not know that if I have to edit this video at all, make any cuts at any point, then I need to render out the entire thing, and then it's a whole process. But this is sort of the outside. There's nothing serious here. I would not follow this in any stretch. This was not placed by me. I would never put a broadside shooting out like that. That is disgusting. But that wasn't even a 130 broadside, so yeah, this is literally just default everything. I mean, this is like essentially how it told me to build, and then, yeah, man, this is why I debated not even showing this too, because it's like, what are you going to learn from this? Maybe you're curious how I used to play? I don't know, why not? Alright, let's go to D. Is there nothing even over here? Oh, I remember this defense. Oh man, this is actually giving me a little bit of nostalgia. I'm kind of digging this. I haven't ran Stonewood in a very long time. It was very similar to Twine, where once I beat Endurance, I was like, okay, that is the final chapter in my Stonewood life. There's nothing more for me to do here now. And, yeah, I don't even remember running Plankerton, so I'll be genuinely interested to check that one out. But, yeah, this is essentially it. I mean, there's usually a gas trap here. This is where we would put it down when needed, but that was all placed in the middle of the fight and must have been reset at the end. I don't actually recall any... I think I do recall this now, actually, yeah. It's been a minute, but yeah, they all spawn out here, and then they run in, so this is where the defense is. Funny thing is, these are so old that the spawns might have actually changed in recent updates, and this could be an outdated base, but it's what worked. Somebody also managed to to glitch some floor tiles here. Don't know how they did that, but that's a thing. I have not seen traps placed on a ramp in a while. It's not something that's typically used. This is one of those things where when I saw this day one, I was so excited to get inside of this thing. I was like, oh hell yeah, there's a whole extra bit to this game, this is gonna be cool. And there's no way they didn't intend for you to go in there at some point, but clearly clearly that never got, you know, never got expanded upon. So unfortunately that door will stay closed, but that's pretty much Stonewood. I mean, there's nothing else to look at. I'm gonna drop out of here and then make the cut I didn't want to cut. Let's go to Plankerton. Okay, that cut was worth it. This took about as long to load in. So Plankerton, I think I've played here more recently for war games than Endurance. My Endurance is complete. While I don't remember doing it at my base, it's entirely likely that we did. I actually have no idea. I thought if you went through it with somebody for the entire time and your defenses were done like all the way through Twine 10, or well, Plankerton 10, then I think you actually get the endurance completed, but this is the defense. I don't even know why I'm showing this because I don't know. I guess you guys might be interested in how my defense looks, you know, like I said earlier, but it's pretty basic. I mean, just gas traps and floor spikes. This is how I used to trap. This used to do the trick. I don't want to mess anything up, but nowadays, sealing electric fields, now that they can be energized, you know, with energy, they are kind of better, but I don't know. Gas traps are still pretty good. You definitely want to pair them with floor spikes. Not floor spikes, my goodness. You want to pair them with floor freeze now than floor spikes because you want enemies to freeze in place because the gas traps no longer do the affliction damage, which was kind of important. We relied on that a lot. This defense is pretty good. A lot of timeout rooms. I mean, I like to go too deep just so they can walk through the broadsides twice. That seemed to do the trick. Obviously it did because all the defenses got done here. But yeah, everything's max metal, pyramids, pretty casual. If I ever wanted to break this down for some builds, probably be a good idea. This is my goodness, is this like 5 long? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, five timeout rooms long. The only thing that we get through here is a smasher. Although not really back in the day because smashers actually got affected by wall launchers to a meaningful degree. So they would actually die pretty hard there. But my goodness, what happened here? Just a whole lot of timeout stuff. Yeah, just magnificent. I love it. Yeah, this is bringing back a lot of nostalgia because I haven't been here in a while and I remember what it all looked like. Probably could have told you most of this, but I haven't ran it in a minute. My goodness. Broadsides are such a good addition to this game. I'm really glad they did that. But yeah, I don't know what else to show here. I think that just brings us back to the beginning. And I might as well show Canny since we're halfway here. Man, I spend more time joining Canny Endurances than actually playing my own. I am 0 out of 30 on Canny Endurance in my own base. I'm not surprised, because this would definitely not hold up. I didn't even bother to replace any gas traps here. Yeah, this is 100% like war games and testing abilities, underside of a tornado. Okay. And yeah, just lazy gas traps. Up here, I think, yeah, I think this used to be the place, right? Yeah. I used to have a complete ceiling of gas traps back when that's when that was a thing people used to do, and I must have destroyed all of them just for the materials, or this was back when they stayed dead. I don't know. I think I gutted this place. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of the traps are actually here. Yeah, back in the day, you know, the durability used during a defense actually stuck and it would run out. But rest assured, there was just ceilings of gas traps that used to be how we ran it. No ceiling electric fields, they were not that good. Being locked to nature was sort of a limiting factor. I don't remember if elemental zombies spawn in endurances. Honestly, I have no idea. Endurance, maybe. Storm shields, I don't think so. Over here, used to be like tire traps or whatnot, because it would bounce around the river, but essentially this place was absolutely gutted. That's going to make our little tour here very, very, wow. You know what? Very, very short. But I'm going to cut this tour a little short, actually, as well, and not show the Twine Endurance, because I don't really know what I could show today that isn't already covered very in-depth in a video I've already recorded. It would be very repetitive, and that video is significantly more focused on the traps themselves, how everything works, and the important stuff, because there's really nothing to show there that isn't covered in that video. So link to the Twine Endurance video down below. Should be on the screen at some point if this is the end screen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I guess now that we're at that point, I should do the outro, and then the video will be playing on that. So see you guys at 1,000 days, I guess, because I'm not going to be recording another one of these anytime soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day. And then